Hello, Mountain Lions. How are you doing today? Well, I have another story that we're going to read today, and I have some vocabulary words that I want us to talk about. Now, when you're reading through a story, sometimes you're going to come across some words and you're not exactly sure what they mean. Um, and when you're listening to a story, you may hear someone reading the story to you, and you're like, but I don't exactly know what that word means. Well, there's a couple things you can do when you're not sure about what a word means. You can always um, go back and read over the sentence or ask whoever's reading to you, like, will you read that sentence again? And kind of listen to what's going on in the sentence. And sometimes you can figure out what a word means just by using the clues, and those are called context clues, that are around the other words that are in the sentence. Also, with pictures, a lot of times you can um, figure out the meaning of a word by looking at the pictures as well. And that's another strategy to use when you're reading so that you can understand the words that you're not quite sure of. Now, um, I've gone through and I've looked at a couple of some different words in the story that we're going to read. I've thought back over when I've read it in the past, words sometimes that students weren't exactly sure what they meant. So I thought I would go over those words. Now, if you come across some more words that you're not exactly sure of, make sure that you ask a grown-up to explain those to you and help you, understand it better. Also, I would encourage you to try to use these words when you're speaking, and use these words when you're doing your kid writing and things like that. So first, I want to show you the book that we're going to be listening to today. And the book that we're going to listen to, it's called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Okay, and the story that you're going to listen to, it's the exact same story, but when you click on it, the cover's just going to be a different color, but it's the exact same story. Okay, they just put a different colored background on the story. All right, so same story, just different color background. So, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. You know what? I think we can all probably think of at least one time we've had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Those are just going to come along every so often, and you just have to work through them, right? Okay, well, let's look at some of the words that you may hear in this story. Okay, so I've got some word cards, and we're going to go over them. Okay, so this card, okay, says invisible. Okay, and invisible is an adjective, and it means something that's impossible to see. And they've even put a little picture. As you notice, it's supposed to be a man, but something is invisible on this man. What is invisible? Right, okay? The man's face is invisible. So we could even make a sentence. We could say, the man, and we could just use that. The man's face is invisible. Okay, invisible means it's not able to see. It's impossible to see it. It's not there. Okay, so you may or may not have known that word. Okay, another word that's going to be in there, you're probably familiar with it, but sometimes this particular object goes by lots of different names. Okay, it's attack. Okay, an attack, it's the part of speech it's a noun. Okay, and it's a small, short, sharp, pointed nail, usually with a flat head. Okay, and you can use these tacks. This is what you use. A lot of times you'll see teachers use these. We use these to put things in the wall so that it'll stay in the wall. Your parents may have some, and they may have like a bulletin board where they can put the tacks in there through a piece of paper or a picture, and it keeps it up on the board from falling. So that is what a tack is, okay? And you may have heard them called push pins, thumbtacks. They go by lots of different names, so you may actually know what it is. You just may not have been familiar with this word. Okay, I am pretty sure y'all are all familiar with this word, okay? But just in case, we'll look at it, okay? It's the word horrible, okay? All right, so horrible is an adjective. Well, there, it needs to be right there. And it just means very bad or terrible. Okay, if something is horrible, it is just very, very bad. You could say this one. The green bean casserole was horrible. It means it was very, very bad. It was terrible. You couldn't eat it. It was horrible. Okay? But I'm pretty sure you guys were familiar with this word. Okay? This word, you may or may not know. It's carpool. Okay? And a carpool is the word is a noun. And the reason I'm telling you if they're nouns or adjective is as the year goes on, we're going to be talking about what is a noun, what is a verb, what is an adjective. So a carpool is when people take turns driving others to and from work or school. And so, like, if you all live in the same neighborhood and your parents may do this. You may carpool, like if you play sports or if you go to dance or you're in clubs or coming to school, you may carpool together. And that's where one mom says, well, look, I'll take all the kids today and if you pick them up from school. And so you're sharing the ride. Okay? All right, you're going to hear this word in there. And this is the word Australia. Okay, Australia is a proper noun because it is a continent and country southeast of Asia. Okay, Australia. So you're going to hear this word in there, and that just helps you to know it's a place. Okay. All right, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this word too, but in case not, it's okay. Terrible. Okay, look at his face. Oh, his face. Oh, it's like, oh. And terrible means it's very bad or horrible. Okay, and you could say, oh, that movie was terrible. We wasted our money on it. Now I just mean it was just really bad. Okay. Now, I bet if you've had a chance to go to certain places, you may have seen these. They're called elevator. Okay, an elevator. And an elevator is a noun. It's a machine that carries things and people to different levels in a building. Okay, so you get in it and the doors close and then you push which floor you want to go to and it takes the box up, 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 and it'll stop and then the doors open and you can get out and then it'll go back down when someone needs a ride up. So that's what an elevator is. All right. Okay, another word, the word scold. Okay. Scold is a verb and it means to get very angry with. Okay, if you've done something that you're not supposed to do, a lot of times you'll be scolded for it, which means a grown-up is going to talk to you about what you did and why that wasn't a good choice and what you could have done in place of that choice. So if you're scolded, it means that you did get in trouble and someone needed to talk to you about what you had done and help you realize why that wasn't a good choice and what you could do in the future. Okay? Scold. And then the last word is drain. Okay? And drain is a noun. It's a pipe that lets the water leave a sink or bathtub. Okay, so when you've taken a bath and you pull the plug in the bathtub or you twist the little knob, the water goes out, and it goes down the drain, and that's how the water leaves your house. It goes through the pipe and down in the drain and it goes away. Okay, so drain. Okay, so those are all some words that you may or may not have known. And if there's other words that you come across in this story, I encourage you to ask a grown-up and just, and think about, use the context clues and see if you can figure out what the word means, but then also make sure that you ask someone, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload the video of them reading Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And then your assignment is going to be, you're going to record, you're going to answer a question for me, and you're just going to record your voice. There won't be anything that you need to write. You just need to do a recording. Okay? All right. We will see you next time.